Hi, everybody. I'm Lucy Wilner. Most of you know me. I've been working on this printmaking venue project. I was inspired by Ellen Pliskin, actually, who posted some pictures of herself pulling huge prints off a press at the Creative Arts Workshop in New Haven. And that reminded me of my experience and how much fun I had as a lithographer when I was an undergraduate at the University of Chicago. But that was a long time ago. When I tried to do printmaking in New York City after moving here, I had an experience that was not quite as positive at one of the main printmaking spaces in Midtown. And so that inspired me to look for all of the places where we might be able to make prints as artists in New York City. And my criteria were, one, that it had to be within the city, it had to be a place where the artists themselves could do the print, preferably, and not something where they just did master printing for editions for established artists. And preferably something that was inexpensive so that we could afford to participate in something like that. And not including book arts, digital printing, or letterpress, although those are all very worthy pursuits, but not what I was looking for this. So I was encouraged by finding lots of places where artists actually could make prints in a reasonable way. And I've prepared a little list of them, which I'm going to pass around. I've also posted it on the Google Groups program. And I printed out a few copies, which I'm going to pass out, and you can take pictures of them with your phone. So without further ado, one of the most interesting places that I found was Shoestring Press in Brooklyn. And we have Lane Sell and Eric Irving with us to tell us about that.
Hello, can you hear me if I speak like this? Yeah. Okay, then I'm gonna.
We need the mic.
You may want that.
No, I mean, it's for the people on the internet.
All right, internet people, can you hear me?
Yes.
So I'm Eric Irving. Lane Sell is here next to me. Lane Sell is the owner and founder of Shoestring Press. We've been in operation for about 10 years. I am the shop manager. We are what I like to call an all-inclusive, a full-service print shop. Members get a drawer or a locker, a flat file or a locker, depending on what sort of thing you're making and availability. And then we provide screens, stones, inks, emulsions, acids, pretty much everything you need, and presses, pretty much everything you need to make a print, except for the thing you're printing on and the thing from which you're printing. So if you're doing screen printing, we don't provide the transparency. If you're doing etching, we don't provide the copper plate. If you're doing relief printing, we don't provide the wood or the linoleum. However, we have small selections of all of the things that we don't provide available for sale, kind of at cost. So we're not trying to make money off of those things. We want people to come and be able to make work and just walk through the door and work. Yeah, and want to add anything? I give a lot of tours at the shop, so I tend to talk a lot and tell a lot about what we do, and Lane just kind of stands around and corrects me when I'm wrong.
So it's our general aim that if you have X amount of time to work on printmaking, that you spend that time in a printmaking studio and not in an art supply store, and that you spend that time working on your work. And to the extent possible, that we will support the prep and all the scaffolding for you. We also work with people at all levels of printmaking. So the level of printmaking that is, in my lifetime, I have made fingerprints. We also work with people who are professional printmakers who have been pulling prints for 50 years. we will do one-on-one instruction. When the staff is around, we're available for all sorts of troubleshooting, basic support. And if you feel out of your depth, you can make an appointment and we can really plug away at your project. That's part of the way the place works. All the members have a key. Hours are long. They're from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. There's no cap to how many days you can work or how many hours you can work. It's all included in the flat membership fee.
We also do a certain amount of master print work. So we do work for established and not so established artists as well. We are currently in the process of extricating that part of the business out of the membership area. So it should free up a lot more space in the membership area. So it won't be clogged with Lane and I doing master print work. So
we have 40 members. By the end of May, we'll have space for 55, maybe 60, depending on how it plays out. But yeah.
Does anyone have any questions?
Sorry, the question was how many presses do we have? We run a Write conversion press, which does litho, relief, and intaglio, and then we run a 30-inch Charles brand for relief and intaglio. We have a silkscreen vacuum table. We also run a 4-color textile press for people who work on textile. Then we also run a large format digital printer where we both do all of our film output for photomechanical processes, plus fine art digital. If you need large reprographic work done, we do that too. We also have a photocopier. Yes. So membership is $220 a month. Our situation with chemicals is, we use them. So we are, for silkscreen, we are an acrylic only shop. For etching, we only etch copper, so we only use ferric chloride. So the more nasty, fumy stuff we don't keep around. Most of our relief printing is oil-based. But we have we can do, if you are a mineral spirits cleanup person, you can clean up with mineral spirits. If you are a vegetable oil person, you can clean up with vegetable oil. We're not our way or the highway shop. If it works for you and it doesn't interfere with us, we will make it available and you can do it. I would say that since most of the work that is done, we have a significant number of people working in each process. Most of the work that is done in the space is silkscreen, so it's pretty low tox. And then also, we do most of the toxic stuff ourselves. Yes. Yeah, so the question was about booking time. The way that we have it set up is that the space is capped at 4 people working in the space at a time. And everybody signs up for reserved time with equipment. So when you get there, you know that what you need will be there for you. Yep. No, sorry, we don't do wallpaper. Although we do print self-adhesive polypropylene, which we've done for installations for people before. Actually, we also once upon a time in the before times, we had 2 spaces, one of which was drawing and painting, and the other one was printmaking, and we used to use the drawing and painting space for exhibitions. So we did once wallpaper the whole thing with polypropylene, but for like real commercial industrial wallpaper, no. There's a great place in Brooklyn that does it though, Flavor Paper. Flavor Paper?
They do small run?
You'd have to ask. Yes.
Do you offer classes or have resources for people who are non-readers?
So we do not offer classes, but we do have individual tutorial memberships. A tutorial membership costs $400 instead of the $220 of a regular membership, and you get 3 2 to 3 hour sessions within a 30-day period with either Lane or me working on a specific technique. If you know nothing, we have curricula that we can run you through so you learn etching or screen printing or lithography. If you have a specific project in mind, we can also tailor whatever you're wanting to learn for that specific project.
Is there commitment and you have to sign up for a year or?
Oh, no.
No, there's not a time commitment. You'll get the 3 sessions that should be finished within a month period. During that month, you also have complete access to the shop. You're not just a student. So if you are wanting to learn lithography with Lane, but you really know screen printing, you can come in and use all the screen printing equipment while you're learning lithography.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Membership, we have some levels of membership. There's the tutorial membership, $400 a month. Monthly regular membership, 1 month is $220. And then if you were to make a 6-month commitment, 6 months or more, that price drops down to $199. It is not billed all at one time upfront, but instead every month, $199. And I'm being told that we're out of time. So 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. are the hours every single day of the year. But we are only staffed on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce our next speaker, who has a very small operation, but very personal and very interesting for us, as she is, a woman who has been very enterprising in just going out and getting a press and making it available to her community. Ellen Coleman-Itzel from Print Space.
Thank you. Okay, is this where I'm supposed to hold it? We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, thank you. My operation at Print Space is quite different from Shoestring, and that I'm it. Have hours unless you call and say, can you come at this time? And I will say, yes, I live in the neighborhood and I can be there. It is very low key. I have just the Charles brand, but it can print up to, I'd say 24 by 36 plate size. So it's a good size. The plate size that you could print, 24 by 36. I also have this itty bitty, well, it's not that itty bitty, a Woodzilla press, and I love it. It's amazing. So you can make a lino cut. So it's very simple. So there's a couple of options. I think my mission is to open this little storefront up to as many people as I can. Everybody should be able to do things. I was, thankfully, I'm a retired school teacher. Yes. So I have a lot of time now. We did printmaking in school too, so anybody can do it. It's very, very easy. It's mostly relief printing that I do. A lot of collograph, lino cut. I myself am learning a little bit more about woodcut, dry point. I don't have facilities for making etchings, but if you have a plate and you want to edition it or do whatever with it, you can. Cleanup is, well, it depends. Some people do like their smelly things, but you use what you want. I have a once a month, first Friday, which happens to be tomorrow. I open the studio up to whoever wants to come and we do printmaking. It's like $15. You come and you have snacks, you bring whatever you want to drink, and you're making prints in the hopes that it will get you to come back to sign up for like a class or something if you want to do something else. But what it does is bring the whole community together. And it's just fun. We've done all sorts of different projects. Some of them are community related and some are just independent. I don't know. There's some people. Oh, I'm sorry. First Fridays. From 6 to 9. And then we're at 509 Senator Street. And see, we do have lots of snacks. You can come and print. So I'll have all supplies. Everything is provided. Tomorrow I happen to be launching this project that I'm doing called the Neighborhood Printing Collective. I could get into it, but I think I'm going to run out of time if I get into it, but it's making holograph plates about your neighborhood. And then I get to use your plates for a bigger project, but you get to print a whole mess of them up. So, yes. So if you want to book a day or half a day, you can just email me or call me and we'll take it from there. I've tried making classes that would happen at certain times and get very little feedback. And now, especially since I'm retired and have more spare time, I can just arrange it with 1 or 2 people, however. The price has been like $20 an hour. So that includes, it depends on how big you want to work. If you're working large, you're kind of going to bring in your own paper. But if you're working, I have somebody coming in and she's working on little lino cuts and little dry points. It's like, just make them. So we can, that's something we can do. It's very individual. It's Bay Ridge. I don't know if you're familiar with the neighborhood. It's kind of, and it's by the movie theater, by the Alpine movie theater there. So it's not that the movie theater has a lot of people parking, but it's not easy. Monday, Tuesday, I think is the alternate side over there. But it's not far from the R train though. It's 2 blocks from the R train. Oh, okay. Yes. If you have an ink that you really like using, you bring that. I tend to use a lot of, like the speedball inks that are the water miscible ones. That's kind of what I have. I have some others too, but that's my basic go-to. So, okay. Yes. I brought cards with me. But I think we should have it from here too. Quite honestly, if I were running a class, I would want to cap it at maybe 6. Oh, yes. No, you're kind of making your own class. That's it. The only thing I really have scheduled for myself is First Fridays.
Can you repeat how big the press is?
Plate size would be 24 by 36.
Thank you.
That'll give you a little bit of paper border too. Okay. Anyone else? I do. It's on my card. It's, Lucy, I think, found me. I'm really not so great at social media. I guess I'm good enough at social media so that if you Google me or Print Spaces in Brooklyn, Print Space shows up. But it's, my website is Ellen Coleman Izzo. That's it. Izzo, Izzo. But I have some cards. I might have enough, but. Okay, anything else? All right, thank you so much. And thank you, Lucy. And Emily, thank you.
Okay, I did pass, most of this information is on the sheets that I passed, so you might want to take pictures of that with your phone, or it is also on our Google group site. So we do have one more speaker, and he will be on Zoom. Ray Cross is joining us from Bushwick Print Lab.
Hello. Hi, I'm Ray. I'm from Bushwick Print Lab. We're a screen printing only space that's in East Williamsburg, Brooklyn. We've been here for like 12 years now. We do all aspects of screen printing only. So we do a lot of the weird stuff, like the stuff that other shops might not want to take on. So we do a decent amount of editioning. on paper. We do a little bit of apparel like t-shirts and tote bags and things, but generally we kind of get all the strange projects that are screen related. We do a lot of screen making for artists actually. So we don't do quite as we do a little bit of DIY where artists can come in and can rent the space, and we do a little bit of assisted printing where we're working with an artist to produce an edition hourly, essentially, to fulfill what they want to do with screen printing as part of their project. But generally, we also make screens for artists and do contract printing, like production work for designers, as well as artists who are trying to make screen printed editions of their work. We work with a fairly large format, up to screens that are about 60 by 80 inches maximum. We're all manual right now, and have 2 fairly large vacuum tables, and then a 6-color apparel press, and a bunch of 1 and 2 color presses. And so generally, like just sort of supporting artists and designers in New York who want to use screen printing to make something is what we do. If you guys have any questions, if I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to hear the larger audience, but if someone can get them on a microphone, I'll try to answer anything anybody has to ask. This is just an example of a print that we produced. I wasn't exactly sure what the presentation was, so I just sort of did a grab bag of graphics of us making some prints. But we work with some publishers, and this was a 12-color print that was fairly large. 17 colors, sorry, that was fairly large that we produced with Exhibition A, which is primarily digital print, but they do a little bit of screen printing, and we do some augmented printing where they produce something digitally and then we're printing an element on it with screen printing, like whether it's a flock or a gloss or some other sort of weird augmentation to a digital print. So, as I was saying, kind of expanded printing or working with screen printing in any way that we can. We do paper, like I was saying, posters and other, fine art editions, but we also do pieces of glass and chunks of metal and guitar pedals and anything that's flat, we will try to screen print it and do a lot of that work for artists who need something custom printed. Primarily, it's water-based, TW Graphics Inc. mostly, but we use Speedball water-based a little bit, and then also do some solvent-based printing. We just try to avoid the solvent printing as much as we possibly can, but sometimes that's the only ink that works.
I have a question. You hear me?
Sure.
Okay, I took a screen printing class at the 92nd Street Y, and I really liked screen printing, but I didn't like setting it up with the computer and all that,
Mhm.
I remember the old way with Ruby Lift, but anyway, I did like setting it up, and the teacher said there are organizations that do set it up so I can just print. Do you do that?
Yeah, as I was saying, one of the services that we do that sort of fits this presentation more, in the sense that it's really a DIY artist ethos that it seems like you guys are covering today, is that we do make screens for artists, and we have some people that we work with. We don't talk a lot about our color separation service, but we're pretty good color separators for screen printing, and we plot a lot of film for artists as well. So we have a $7 a square foot film plotting situation and that's what these machines are behind me actually, are our technical plotters for film. And so we're constantly plotting transparencies like this, transparent media with a graphic on it that people are using to expose screens. We also get a lot of clients who use them for like cyanotypes and Van Dyke prints and non-silver process, where they want to do a very large negative, essentially. We're mostly plotting film positives, and we do have people who can help you if you need help getting your art from a graphic image, like a photograph of a painting, and turn that into multicolor screens, basically. We have some people who can help with that. It's just like we're generally using that when we're producing editions for artists, just trying to struggle through creating a print that takes a full color piece of art and turns it into 8 colors, and it's something that the artist can get behind at the same time. But you know, we can help to create screens for artists, and we do a service where we just sell screens essentially, either from a Victory Factory, which is the local aluminum frame supplier, or from GM Graphics, which is in the Midwest. And so if you contact us, you can send us a 1-color piece of artwork. We'll create a screen. You'll get the frame, aluminum frame, stretched with your choice of mesh. You'll get the film positive plot up to the maximum size for the frame, and then you'll get the exposure. And we do that as a package deal for frames under 25 by 36 inches. The 20 by 24 inch screen is $50 all inclusive, and that's up to a 13 by 17 inch maximum graphic, 1 color. So a lot of artists contact us for those services. We just create screens, they take them and print them, and then if they want to return the screens, we'll reclaim them, coat them again, and re-expose them with new graphics, and they can pick up a batch of screens, take them to their studio and work. So we do that to support artists who don't necessarily have facilities to expose frames, or for artists who want to expose very large frames. As I was saying, we can do an outside frame dimension that's about 62 by 82 inches, so really quite large. And occasionally artists just want to do one large graphic or have one large image exposed to a screen so that they can take it back to their studio and work with it for a period of time. Then they bring it back to us and we process it again.
Thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions?
They were just asking your name, but I think we got that.
Oh, sorry, it's Ray Cross. Yeah, and the company is Bushwick Print Lab. We're in East Williamsburg, kind of near the intersection of Flushing and Knickerbocker, the East Williamsburg Industrial Park, very close to the Morgan Avenue L train. So we're easily accessible from the city.
Can you just flash your information again? On the
Sure, yeah.
screen?
Oh, here, I will try. Hang
Sorry,
on.
that's reversed.
That's on me.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah,
That's me. I will put this back up here.
yeah, and we're usually noon to 8 p.m. every day, pretty much. 2 to 8 p.m. on Sundays are sort of our open hours. And as I was saying, we do a little bit of DIY and we do some assisted printing, but primarily we've been doing sort of screen and filmmaking services for artists, and doing contract printing, essentially like working with artists to realize projects in screen printing.
Do we have additional questions? No.
Yes.
Well, I hope that was helpful information, and I just want to leave you with one final thought, that if you're hanging around in New York for the summer, it'll be a great time to make a print.